Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and as you know, I haven't done an update recently. Well, that's partly because I have a job. Where is it, you might ask? Unfortunately, it's at Walmart. Well, I mean, you know, this is kind of a pathetic job. It's not what I went to college for, but at least they have me working in toys, so I at least know what I'm dealing with. Still, if I could get a job in kids' entertainment really just anywhere, I'd take it. If any of you guys work in the kids' entertainment industry, let me know. Anyway, today I have for us the much anticipated Baku Sky Raiders. These are a new set of Baku solos. They're considered a premium Bakugan, but they're sold for the regular Bakugan price, which is kind of something the Kandalian invaders fell into, partly because it used unpopular characters for its super assaults, which was part of the problem. Anyway, I've managed to get a couple of these in Chaos, and so far I've managed to find Chaos Skytruss, Chaos Jaakor, and Pyrus Fusion Dragonoid, which is certainly an exciting find. These Baku Sky Raiders have a new package design, which is an attractive bright red chevron depicting the Bakugan inside of it in the proper attribute, which is kind of an interesting change rather than those weird pictures they'd have on the older Baku series. These are considered a premium set, but they don't have the premium price, which is certainly a benefit so far. They also come with some premium cards and Series H gate cards. What these things boast the most is that they have a powerful jumping ability, which allows them to spring about a foot in the air when they deploy on a gate card. Their special cards are designed to be set on the battlefield before you even start playing, and if it manages to jump off the card and onto one of its reference cards, then it gets that bonus. They can also fuse into the 3-in-1 Magma Fury with Skytruss, Jaakor, and Orbium, or the 2-in-1 Aero Blitz with Fusion Dragonoid and something called Reptac. Another thing that Dragonoid and Reptac have is they have these small chips that go into the wings, kind of like the Baku Tech series, though a bit different. Apparently they can improve the G-Power, but I have yet to really see for myself, and I really hope I can find a Chaos one of these. Anyway, let's get these open. First up, we have Fusion Dragonoid. Fusion Dragonoid has a quite impressive wingspan and is a pretty big Bakugan. It's 890 Gs on the base here, and these winglet parts both say 30 Gs. I don't know if that means you apply both the bonuses or just one, but either way that makes a grand total of either 920 or 950 Gs, which either way is pretty decent in the current metagame. Compared to its Baku-Tech counterpart Flare Draghound, Fusion Dragonoid is a bit larger but has some less refined details. It only has gray as its subcolor like the rest of the Mectanium Surge Bakugan, but doesn't have the solid metal parts. The feet are entirely made of a very strong gray plastic that allows it to take the strain of having the loaded springs and allowing it to jump into the air. It has very large arms, much larger than Helix or any of the other Dragonoids we've seen so far, and quite large wings that are mounted in a bit of an odd place on its back. It combines with something called Reptac to form something called the Aero Blitz. Then the peg that's used in the back here, kind of like what you had with Max's Helios and Max's Dragonoid, folds down in order to facilitate that. Now, once I get Reptac, I should be able to show it off, but for now, it's just kind of a tail thing, I guess. Up next is Skytruss. This Chaos Skytruss is 900 Gs. It is a bird-shaped Bakugan that also comes in Ventus, I'd imagine. Has a peg back there for some Baku Nano, and obviously shares a lot of similarities with Skyraiders from the previous series, more specifically Storm Skyraiders. You could kind of say that Skytruss is Skyraiders' rebirth, kind of its return to the main site. Anyway, as far as similarities go, its wings are about the same. They bulge out. They have the large, very small, very powerful legs, which has kind of a bulge on the ball shape here in order to house the spring mechanism that works. These things can jump really high. It's kind of interesting too, because Skyraiders and Storm Skyraiders were kind of touted as being able to jump. Now these things actually do jump without any kind of trick or technique. So that is a pretty interesting case. It's a bit different. Its tail sweeps up rather than down, and its wings are placed a bit further back. So that makes its design a bit more sophisticated and its feet a bit smaller. But for the most part, it's a bunch of it's basically Skyraiders. Skyraiders fans should rejoice that they finally have something at least relative to Skyraiders that has come out recently. And finally, we have Chaos Jaakor. Chaos Jaakor weighs in at an impressive 930 Gs, making it one of the more powerful Chaos Bakugan so far, other than a Baku Mutant or Infinity Helios. Now, it has the fishnet design and the ninja shapes of Tailing, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who was reminded more of Primo Vulcan when I saw this guy opened up. As you can see, he has the long, spring-loaded arms, just like Primo Vulcan does, a large disc here with the head, and of course the gigantic feet. Now, Primo Vulcan was kind of my go-to Bakugan for a while back in the day. But this guy, he's pretty good too. At 930 Gs, that's fairly respectable. So, if you're a bit behind on the power curve and missed the chance to get the Baku Mutants at target, these Baku Sky Raiders are probably your best chance to do it. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the new Baku Sky Raiders series. If they're starting to hit Texas, then they should soon be in a store near you. Take a look. They're the same cost as a regular booster pack, as much as those have gone up in price over the recent months. But they're a blast. They can actually jump really high. It's really fun to watch, but I don't know how good of a game mechanic they might be, though. Anyway, this is Kohdok signing off. Wait, what's this? A super special awesome extra bonus review? Well, I recently checked my mail and I received this. The Tie-Fi Shooting Sound Effect Apexion 1 Darkest 810 Gs. This is another one of the Super Assaults that I have been missing for a while that is pretty hard to find. It was only available in a Walgreens pack combined with a Darkest Darak, for the most part. It also comes with a card that has the special ability that you play it before you roll an Apexion, and if there's a battle this turn, you gain 200 G power for every clear, pearl, or translucent Bakugan your enemy is playing with. Power level 1. It's a pretty good card, actually, when your opponent is using things like the new Baku Mutant series, which has a lot of translucent parts to it that are actually quite powerful. And normally I'd say don't depend on something your opponent will try to do other than win, play gate cards, and play ability cards. But in this case, this one's actually not a terribly bad gamble because it's 200 G power each, so it's a good card. I'm still looking for the likes of Irisa and Sprazer, so if anybody knows where I can get some of those, I'd love to know. Anyway, this is Kohdok signing off.